We're live now. Of course, I cut anything that's not actually starting it, so it doesn't really matter right now. We're gonna start really in about 5 minutes with the introduction. Let's see here. Let's make sure that all the chats are connected. Activate these bad boys. Great. Good. This here in our test chat. Just make sure we can see message that pops up. Great. Okay, cool. Testing. That's perfect. All right, let me make sure everything is locked up around us, and we can get started, man. Of course, there's water for you there if you need. If you need anything during it, just let me know, man. Okay, cool. Let me make sure that closes properly. Great. All right, everybody, welcome back to another fantastic episode of The Peak. Here I have Javier. You can find him on Instagram at Thank You Suave. Is that the right way to say it?
Yeah, thank you, Suave.
Thank You Suave. And he is the creator and sole owner. Does anybody own the brand alongside you?
No, it's just me.
Just you, sole owner of an amazing sunwear company, Takayo. Is that correct?
Yeah, appreciate you, man.
Everybody can check it out on Instagram. And where else are you promoting that Takayo brand? Is it Twitter, Facebook? Is there anywhere else but just primarily Instagram?
We're really, honestly, I mean, I have a TikTok account and some of the other social medias, but we really just focus on Instagram right now.
For sure. You guys can look that up. It's TOCAYO Sunwear. That's TOCAYOSUNWEAR. And what a brand, man. Just to begin, how did you even get into the eyewear creation sphere? It's so big, and you've got the cases. He's got the. Is this your case too? This orange case?
Nah, this is something I just copped off online, but it's just like to show you a lot of the frames that we've dropped in just like the past year or so.
Right.
When I got into glasses, it wasn't even necessarily like I saw myself as being like this big fashion designer or anything like that.
Right.
I kind of got into glasses just off of a personal situation where a couple years ago, it was like back in 2021, I was diagnosed with like a brain tumor that was putting pressure on my facial nerve. And if you're not familiar with the facial nerve kind of controls all of our facial movements.
Right.
So like the left side of my face started getting weaker, and even though I've had surgeries to kind of like repair some of the damage and remove the tumor and stuff like that, I didn't get full function back.
Right.
So like I'm left with like effects where I can't fully smile, can't fully blink my left eye.
Right.
So like sunglasses, I started wearing sunglasses a lot to kind of cover up that insecurity, make me feel more comfortable in social settings. And around that time, I was just wearing a lot of other brands. And people really liked my style, and it was like a family member of mine, one of my brothers, he just kind of encouraged me. He's like, man, you should just like make your own sunglasses, put your name on the side of it. He's like, I buy them. I'm sure other people will buy them too, because people just kind of like, fuck with my style and stuff. So I was like, all right, for sure. So came out with the line of glasses, and then the rest is history. You know?
No, I feel like it's amazing to be able to take something like that and then turn into a flourishing business like you have here. Before I forget, I see the logo, and I also see on the glasses you're wearing now, you have the brand name on the side. What is the story behind the name and the logo?
Yeah, so Takayo, it was just like, Takayo itself is just a Spanish slang word that means like two people who had the same name. So if I was to meet another Javier, if you were to meet like another Don, it'd be like, this is, that's my Takayo, like this, it's something that you have in common. So, honestly, like I started out with the snake logo. It's just a two-headed snake where I felt like it symbolized Takayo, where it's two individuals aligned on the same path. But then we're kind of going through a bit of a rebranding phase right now, where the first year of me coming out with sunglasses, there was a lot of trial and trial and error with the designs, the branding, the logo and stuff. And I started to realize that even though I like the snake and a lot of people like the snake, it kind of like pigeonholed a lot of the marketing that we wanted to do, and it
Right.
kind of came off kind of dark. So we pivoted to like a double sun logo, which is now on the new frames that we have coming out, which are like our optical frames.
That's the prototype right there.
No, these are
That's
actually
the
like these
actual
just
one.
came
Are
out.
they out now? Okay.
But this is just a brand new pair that I'm taking out the plastic for you so you can see the logo. I'm sure the viewers won't really be able to see, but if you go online, you'll see our new logo, and it's even like on our Instagram and stuff, but it's like two suns overlapping.
Yeah, let me see if
So
I
it's a
can
lot.
take it up to him. I know it might be a little hard to see, but starting off here with the intricate work of the name and the side there, that's beautiful. And I see that most of your frames have like a inner frame or inner metal frame inside. What talk to us about that because that
Yeah.
seems to be prominent throughout the design.
No, it's just quality. It's we really try to do heavyweight frames, things that like when you feel it, you put it on, you can tell that it's quality put into it, and it just kind of reinforces the acetate or the material that we use. We use optical grade acetate, optical grade just lenses. So this is something that we're like you can genuinely wear on a daily basis. Things that are quality rivals that of like high designer brands. So this isn't something that it's not super flimsy. So that having that metal kind of wire in there just further shows you that this is something that's high quality and is durable overall.
Yeah, I would say, from the outside in, I think Takao is really known for its frame design
Mhm.
overall, in my opinion. Can you tell us more about that design process and what makes your products unique in the eyewear market?
Yeah. So really, what it is ultimately, um, what makes us distinct, honestly, is like the storytelling, the branding of it, and then what I try to do is just like um, staple pieces that can kind of be worn every day, but then there's pops of color in there. So like this is a frame that a lot of people like to wear, where it's like everyday frame like black, but then it's squared off, but then it's that pop of color with the orange that
Right.
people really like right now. Um, so it's just like trying to do my unique twist on things, and like when I work with my manufacturer with the design process and like coming up with something that I feel looks cool, like going through the sampling process and stuff like that, even coming up with colorways that are a bit more unique, like this desert cactus one. This is like
Fire.
a green tortoise that you probably don't ever really see with an orange gradient lens on there, and the
Reminds me
lens
of
is
Florida.
appreciate
Yeah.
yeah, and then it's like a gradient lens on there too, and they're polarized. So it's not only is it like fashionable, but it's also functionable in the sun and everything. So we try to offer a lot of not just unique colorways that you may not see, but also some unique storytelling with these here. So like these, along with the desert cactus, these were some of like the second iteration of glasses that I put out, and we did like some unique storytelling. So like these were called the Concrete Rose, and the storytelling behind this one was just all about like based off the poem by Tupac, where it's just like a rose from concrete, and just that storytelling of making something out of nothing and rising despite your circumstances. So that was one where it's like a kind of like the tortoise kind of resembles like concrete or asphalt, and then the red lens kind of symbolizes that rose. And then this one was called the crushed ice. So it's just like breaking through barriers. This is like a clear acetate with like some black going through there with a blue gradient lens. So it's just like again that storytelling of like not being afraid, facing your fears, break through the ice, shatter that glass ceiling, whatever it is that you feel like is holding you back, and not letting that hold keep you from accomplishing what you want to do.
Yeah, I look at a lot of other eyewear brands, and there's not so much of a story behind,
Hmm.
every piece that they put out. And I feel like that's really something that will impact a buyer every time, impact a customer and a supporter. And so when it comes to those stories, when you release them, are they able to read them online? I assume, right?
Yeah, some of it is done through our Instagram posts. Sometimes it's not like told in full, or it's not like, sometimes it's a bit of like Easter eggs, and it's not always like explicitly put out there. Like I kind of treat it like an art piece where sometimes we'll just drop the things and we'll do some accompanying visuals, but it's up to like the consumer or the people who are truly like tapped in to really take on that greater storytelling
Right.
part of it. But what we've been doing like with this that I just dropped just this month, these are our brand new frames. They're like the optical kind of side of it, where this is my first version of not doing sunglasses, but like blue light blocking lenses. So they're good for like work, school, if you're a streamer, gamer, those type of things, always in front of a screen. This offers you protection from that rather than the sun.
Right.
And so since this is like doing clear lenses, the whole marketing behind it has just been like a moment of clarity. And we've been working with a lot of like creatives online and just kind of doing some storytellings of like, how do you find clarity? What does clarity mean to you? And what are the steps that you do to attain clarity in your daily life? So like we've been doing a lot of like heavy storytelling with that, working with creators, like creating reels, creating visuals that we're slowly rolling out over time.
Yeah, kind of lightly reminds me of like a How to Chew 5 gum run. It's like there's a story behind each of these flavors, and maybe you get some creators to kind of portray that story in a way that really grabs the viewer in a short reel like that. That reminds me of those commercials, and I feel like that's super effective. Super effective. The story of clarity on the clear lenses. I don't really think it gets much better than that. I was thinking, when you're having these and you're sending them out to people and they're buying them, did you ever think of maybe adding like a little pamphlet along with the box that is maybe a piece of the story that goes along with it, something that they can hold on to physically for people not online?
So for all of my dedicated like people who keep up with the brand or have purchased glasses, they do get like a info card where it's not necessarily storytelling into the individual lenses, but it's more so storytelling like my personal story and what started the brand, and breaking down that layer in that aspect. But that's a good idea to like do even more like physical pieces that include the individual stories of the frames.
Yeah, definitely. I do yoga most mornings, and there's a YouTube called Yoga with, I don't know, we're not going to give them too much promotion, but they, or she rather, has a deck of cards, and in those deck of cards there's different affirmations, and so she'll shuffle it and she'll pick one for every day, and then she also sells those cards. She sells that deck of cards with the affirmations on it, and I feel like if you're able to tie the stories into maybe a singular word that overarches like clarity, then you might be able to even make your own deck of cards, which is kind of like a collector's item for people who really, really enjoy the Sunwear brand. And so we talked about things like the lenses and the tints on the lenses, and you talked about how that people like those now. And so talk to us about how the eyewear industry is evolving and what trends are you excited to see as we move through 2025 as an eyewear creator?
Yeah, I think right now eyewear is like I don't know if it's just because I'm in it. I see it a lot more often.
Right.
But I see people taking a lot more risks with their eyewear choices now. When I kind of started, a lot of people were just asking me for the basic black, and I offer those still. Like this is one of our popular frames. This is the Encore, and it's just in a simple all black. And I used to have a these in all black as well, but I like that people are taking a bit more risks and embracing color, embracing different shapes, and not just sticking to those traditional monocolor type of styles.
Yeah, I think that's where a brand like yours could really thrive, because you're not a monocolor person. You've got all these different designs in your head and you're able to get them out. And I think that anybody would buy any one of these. These are all very, very beautiful.
And that's what I love a lot about doing like some in-person. We do like pop-ups. We'll do installations in different places, parts of the city, and even parts of the country. We went out to London even with the sunglasses. And one of my favorite parts of doing the brand is that some people may see something like the desert cactus and say like, that's funky, like I could never pull this off. But then they try them on, and they're like, whoa, like this is actually like me. This fits, like, and that's what makes me happier than anything, is like people taking those risks on their style and pushing the envelope on their personal style, and venturing outside of some of the more just everyday styles that we have.
Right. Are these all the frames that you offer?
For the most part, this is the main selection, yeah.
And so chat says, do you have any clear frames with blue?
I have these right here. This is like our Encore, where it's like a very light blue tint on the frame, and then it's blue lenses right there. They're a bit dusty, but that's our Glacier blue right there. And then I also have these aviators, which we called Santorini blue, because this just makes me feel like you're like on a cruise or something, like on a real nice vacation, and it just kind of reminded me of Greece.
Definitely reminds me of Greece. And so again, you guys can check these out. That's Takayo Sunwear. Okay, the brand name is also in the description of the video that you're watching and the title of the video that you're watching, so you can search that up. You also have a website, is that correct?
Yeah, we have a website, takayosunwear.com.
So if you guys are interested, there it is. There it is.
Yeah,
and
man.
so besides these stylish designs, what is Takayo's commitment to sustainability and social responsibility? You talked a little bit about the materials that you use. Can you talk further about that and how you're looking to kind of move away from a lot of the stereotypes that go into making a physical product for just fashion, you know?
Yeah. Honestly, like what we do, like a lot of this acetate that we use is bioacetate, so it comes from like plant-based sources. But then also, I'm not like in this for like a super like cash grab kind of thing. All of the glasses that you see here are super limited, and then we don't restock. So we're not just like flooding the streets with tons and tons of glasses.
Right.
We want these to be like glasses that stick with you for a lifetime. So we pretty much limit them to like 100 of you know, 100 of each, and then once they're gone, they're gone. Like these are like limited pieces, and if you were there for that moment, you're able to appreciate these. But once they're gone, they're gone, and we don't generally restock any of our glasses to try to reduce some of that excess materials and stuff.
Right, and just having glasses and they're not, going anywhere. Of course, these would all sell out. But I think having those rare drops is very important, especially just for the rarity of the brand. When you have one of these, you have to understand that the next person is probably not going to have them.
Right.
And that's what's really, really cool about it. And so when you're looking into your target audience, I feel like you've got so many different styles here that the target audience is vast. But who is Takayo Somewhere's customer, and what kind of person do you envision wearing your glasses?
No, 100%. I like that question because right now we're generally in a rebranding phase. This first year that you see here, while they're in an impressive array of glasses, I felt like this past year for me has been kind of like an identity crisis, where it's like trying to figure out what it is that I'm genuinely trying to do with eyewear, because like I told you before, I didn't necessarily come in this with a super business mind. Like
Right.
when I first started sunglasses, it was genuinely just for like my friends, my family, and just to kind of for me to express what I went through, like with the surgeries and coming through with the tumor and stuff like that. But so I didn't like. I had a launch party like when I first started my glasses, and a lot of friends and family pulled up and were able to buy the glasses for the first time. And then I opened it online for sunglasses for people to purchase. And to show you how much of a business mind I did not have at the time, I started taking on a bunch of online orders, and they flooded in through, but I didn't have any boxes, I didn't have any tape, I didn't have any labels.
Yeah.
So it's like, I have all these glasses that I need to sell, and I need to ship them out, but I don't have any way to ship them out
Right.
to these people. So I had to like literally like, run to the store, buy all these things last minute, and fulfill all these orders myself. So it's like going into this, like it's just been trial and error. Like a lot of these designs, even when I'm coming to like when I look at like the concrete rose or even the crushed ice, these glasses weren't genuinely supposed to look like this. These were accidents, but I had to roll with it, you know what I mean, and push through it. And that's kind of like what life is, like even these, like this is like one of the very first frame that I came out with. This is the Midnight line, and this was like another trial and error process. I'm sorry, this is like a lot of these are display pairs that have been sitting around. But what like really made me upset was like I originally ordered this from the manufacturer, but they sent me these, and then they were just like, sorry, like this is what we're sending you. So I was like, no, we need to go back. Like you guys need to send me what I actually want.
Right.
But this actually ended up being one of my most popular frames, And so like a lot of it has been trial and error. And within that, I'm getting back to answering your question. I didn't really know who my customer base was.
Yeah.
I was just kind of doing streetwear
Mm-hmm.
type of eyewear and just doing what I felt cool to me in the moment, but it wasn't like a focused direction.
Mm-hmm.
So you can kind of see that with the shapes and the colorways. It's just like these are cool, but it's not necessarily focused. It's not linear, you know, like some brands may be. And now with the refocus and the shifting, I think the clarity frames is kind of like the bridge into what we're going into next, like with the new logo, the new messaging. What I've learned is that a lot of people like to wear my glasses when they go on vacation. A lot of people like to genuinely wear them out in the sun and, you know, get a fit off and different things like that. So we really, ideally, when I compare my glasses to other brands out there like Ray-Ban, when you think of Ray-Ban, you think of the heritage, like these are like everyday glasses that people kind of know are dependable, you know
Right.
what I mean? When you think of Oakley, you think of like premier sportswear type of glasses. When you think of Takayo, I want you to think of the sun. I want you to think of like good times. Like these are the glasses that I want to get the first invite when you go on vacation. Like
Right.
I'm going on vacation, I'm gonna be in Mexico, I might be in Brazil. I know I'm gonna be in the fun, like having fun in the sun or like going out to clubs. Like I need to bring my Takayos with me because I
Yeah.
know they're gonna grab a lot of attention. I know I'm gonna be able to, you know, have that pop of color and be the life of the party.
Yeah, and I think that's super important just to know your target audience, as you move into, the clarity season of
Hmm.
Takayo. It's very, very important. And a couple things, so many thoughts flooding my head as you're talking. And so one, chat says, what was the name of the first pair you brought to the camera? But they found them, I'm pretty sure it was these when they asked
Okay,
for
yeah.
the blue frames there. They also said they can't see the dust. So that's good.
Okay,
And
cool.
so looking into it, you talked about how these were mistakes, but these are honestly my favorite as well as these. And so,
Maybe we should
what
set it up
were?
to where like the camera can see
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
even
Maybe just
some
a
of these
little
frames.
for sure. I
And
think.
I think you can
Oh
like,
yeah, if there's a way to. Yeah. Wow.
I think it's like we've set it up before to where you can like,
Oh, that's
but I
good.
don't know how to do it. I think
That
that's
was great.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. And so, we talked about these challenges that you're facing. What were some of the biggest challenges you're facing when you're building the brand?
Yeah, I think for me, one of the biggest challenges is that trial and error process where you talk to the manufacturer and you say like sometimes when you're dealing with manufacturers, especially like overseas manufacturers, and there's like a bit of a language barrier or a culture barrier, you can say hey, I want like this one, like the crushed ice, the ones that you say were one of your favorites, right? What I told them is that I wanted like a white. This is mostly supposed to be a mostly white frame,
Mm-hmm.
but I wanted it to be like a white marble effect with blue lenses.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's pretty much what I sent them. And they sent me a picture of what looked like white marble.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, let's go with that. But then didn't see that they're actually clear.
Clear. Yeah.
And so it's like language barriers, like things that you can't really like when you're not in person and actually touch the materials.
Yeah.
That's the difficult part of dealing with it. But then also, I think as a independent brand, the hardest thing is outreach, getting people
Yeah.
to buy into the brand. What I've seen through like my metrics and my analytics is that I get a ton of return customers. Once people get their first pair to Kyle's and they see the not just like the quality, but also the compliments that they get from their friends and family, and like the attention that the glasses bring to like or the pop of color that it adds to their outfits and different things like that. Once they take that risk, they come and they keep buying more
Yeah.
glasses. But it's a matter of like getting it out to more people
Right.
and getting and convincing people to take that risk on the eyewear.
Yeah, I feel like being here and doing things like this is a big part
Right.
of getting that outreach going.
Right.
We've got people in the chats like, oh, which were those? Oh, I found them on the website already.
Right.
And that's really, really important to get out there and have this display and put it out there. And so two questions here that popped up in my mind. One, we're talking about your relationship with your manufacturer. And so three questions. Have you ever actually crafted glasses by hand by yourself, or have you let the manufacturers do it?
No, I don't manufacture them by hand. I let the manufacturer do that. Like I'll work with my graphic designer to like try to figure out like We'll do mock-ups, like,
Right.
and then send them like the dimensions and all that good stuff. But I don't do it by hand. I'm not skilled in that way.
Have you ever wanted to?
I would love to. It's just a matter of when you become a business owner and you wear so many hats, it's like, what
Oh
is
yeah.
genuinely worth,
Your
what do you
time.
get, yeah, the time and what you genuinely have the bandwidth for,
Hmm.
because I didn't necessarily go to school for any of this stuff. Like by trade, I'm a nurse, I went to school for nursing, and that's kind of where my education background is. But this is like something where it became like it was a hobby first, and then turned into like a business that I'm starting to scale up.
Right. And so we talked about this display and showing it off. Talk to us about some events that you've been to where you were able to kind of put up something like this or show off your glasses. What were some of the biggest events that you've been
Yeah,
to?
some of the biggest events, of course, being here in Atlanta. I've done a couple of the Atlanta streetwear markets, so that's always been a really good return. I love the people over at Atlanta Streetwear Market. It's always a dope crowd and dope people who put on that event. And then also, there was one event that I do with my boy Rico called Soul Theory. He did a lot of events last year, and outside of like my pop up. That was the first event where like Soul Theory was like it's such a dope diverse crowd where Atlanta streetwear market for the most part it's a young African American crowd, so like a lot of people, they're into fashion, but like Soul Theory is a lot of people from different backgrounds and different tastes in fashion, and they weren't there for me, but a lot of people were buying the glasses, and it was the first time like outside of my pop up, I mean my initial launch party, where I would sell glasses to someone and they're instantly taking them out the plastic, putting them on, getting that instant feedback from their friends, and people were coming back, buying more, to where like you looked around and like almost half the party
Mm.
had my glasses on at one point.
Yeah.
And even other people like were coming to me like, look man, look around, like look at this person, look at that person.
Hmm.
And the energy in there was just so genuine, that like I just love working with the guys over at Soul Theory. And so those are some of the events that we've done here in Atlanta. We're trying to branch out. I was invited to go out in London, and we did an event out there for a weekend. But I want to do more in the States as well, like go out to other states, do other things. We're going to be doing in the springtime, we'll be at Black on the Block, which is coming to Atlanta. And then we're just looking for more markets. So if there's anyone in the chat who has any suggestions or has any plugs on some events, we're always there to pop up because we don't have too many opportunities for people to, actually try on the glasses, because sometimes glasses can be such a, unique experience where you want to make sure it actually fits your face properly,
Right.
or, things like that. And so I appreciate our online buyers who take that risk and, still enjoy the glasses, but we still try to offer those in-person situations for people.
Right. And so chat's got a question here, and I can answer the first part. I'm going to need your help on the second. They said, are they exclusively sunglasses? No, we also have those blue eye or blue light
Yeah, we
blockers
have the
as
blue
well.
light as well.
Right. And so further than that, they said, can I get a single prescription lens? I only have bad vision in one eye. So talk to us about putting a prescription in these glasses, if that's even the thing.
Yeah, no, I mean, you guys are asking all the right questions. It's crazy, man. It's like you guys are like already in the workshop with me, because those are the things that are honestly like the next steps for the brand. Like when I'm working through the brand right now, I have the website set up to where you can input your prescription. Like that's something that we've already tested and it works. But so like I can receive your prescription order. It's just a matter of now working with an optician and creating like a good partnership with one, because I found an optical lab where like I can literally take your prescription, fulfill it through an optical lab, and then send it back to you to where they can put it in there. But there's so much more liability that goes
Oh, yeah.
along with fulfilling a prescription, because at the end of the day it's medicine, and I'm not a doctor, and as a nurse I understand that I'm not a doctor. So like I want to partner with an optician to where it's not just a process of you submitting your prescription and me getting it back to you, but it's actually verified by a doctor, and they do the testing so that we're sending you back like proper quality, and you're not like messing up your eyes. Like that's at the end of the day, people always want you to grow and scale, but we want to grow and scale properly and at the right pace.
Right.
So in that way, we limit the harm that we actually do
Yeah.
to people. And we don't want anyone to get harmed in the trial and error process.
Right. And so chats here, and some people just now tapping in, they said, what is this? Right now we're sitting down, guys, with Javier. He's the owner of Takayo Sunwear. You can check that out on Instagram. That's TOCAYO Sunwear. That's TOCAYOSUNWEAR. Javier is here as the sole owner of an amazing eyewear brand. We're getting deep into things like manufacturing and the next steps. And so you said you wanted to work with the eye doctors in order to get the prescriptions going. Can you share with us any more exciting collaborations or partnerships that you have planned for the future?
Yeah, right now we haven't really been focused on a lot of collaborations. I think we're really just trying to focus on this rebrand, like getting rid of that snake logo that I felt like was kind of pigeonholing us for a while, like getting into the new double sun logo and like just revamping our messaging and just letting the world know what Takayo is. And then once we establish what our new brand focus is, then we're going to start getting focused on some collaborations. But um, I have a ton of friends that I've met in Atlanta through the brand spaces that I would love to work with that were already kind of like in the introductory kind of talks of like, doing stuff with. But, right now we're solely focused on rebranding and making sure that people understand what Takayo is before we venture out into the multiverse.
Right.
I mean, you see that with like, I don't know if anybody in the chat keeps up with like Marvel movies, and you see like with the multiverse, they jumped out too quick with the multiverse, and people are like, who are these characters? We don't even truly care about these characters.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Then we got to peel them back. People got fired. They had to change stuff, rewrite stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we don't want to get trapped in that multiverse of like we're doing too many collaborations and no one truly understands the essence of Takayo and who we are to begin with to even be doing these collaborations. So at the end of the day, we want it to make sense, and we want not to do a collaboration just for the sake of doing one, but like I look at collaborations as like conversations between one brand and the other, and then we come together and have a conversation with the community, and it all has to make sense.
Yeah. No, that's super important. I think that's great things to think about before you do any collaboration at all. Like Chat said, trying to establish that brand recognition first is very, very important before you go out there and try to be something with someone else. Kind of like a relationship, you can't do anything if you're not totally secure in your own self. And so when it comes to your favorite piece in the collection, what is it?
My favorite piece right now are the ones that I'm wearing. I wear, this is what we call the Uno Max Clarity. It's like Uno is because it's my very first frame ever. And then, the Clarity collection are our new optical ones where it's like, these are clear blue light blocking lenses. But of course, when it's fully clear, this is just maximum clarity. I wear these like literally every day. Like I wear them at work, I wear them in the hospital, I'm wearing them here in the interview. Like these have become my favorite, but outside of these, I generally love like these are our dark citrus ones where I was wearing, before I got these, I was wearing these every day. This is just like a really good staple piece.
The dark citrus.
Yeah.
It's like a blood orange almost. You ever seen one of those?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. And then the purple haze, these were like another like everyday frame for me. This is like our brown tortoise with a light purple lens.
No, I think these are some of my favorites here, for sure.
Oh yeah, the
This
desert
is
cactus.
absolutely incredible. Absolutely incredible. The color in it, the dark brown and then the light brown as it comes out of the dark brown and touches that green, I can see it all. It's very, very beautiful, as well as the tint. And then the Takayo design on the side. I really like the wording, the Takayo words. Not all of them have. Do all of them have the words on the side like that? Or
Yeah, all of them do, except for one that we experimented with was This is called the Lucid Lime, so it's like a light gray with green tint lenses, and we put the snake on the side instead of putting it on the lens.
Right.
So that was just like something different that we did.
I think that's really dope. It's cool to do that different stuff sometimes. I think that makes those pieces even more rare.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's really dope. And so, how do you measure the success of your brand beyond just revenue? You said that when you're at these parties and everyone's wearing it, that makes you feel good. And so, talk to us about, kind of like your aha moment when you were creating the brand. I know you said in the beginning they sent you the frames that, weren't exactly what you wanted, but you made do. And so, when did you feel like, okay, let me make another pair?
Really just like when I started, like I don't really have, outside of the Midnight Lime, these ones, like I had like a all black pair, and then I had like one that we call Strawberry Ember, where it was like a brown tortoise version of these with a red gradient lens, and those sold out almost instantly. And the Midnight Lime are the only ones I have left of like that very first like run of glasses.
Right.
So just seeing them sell out so quickly, it was like, okay, I have to keep going, and just getting the reception of the people. I think more than anything, more than the revenue, like you said, it's all about the connections and like sharing my story, hearing other people share their stories. You don't know how many people, like when I talk to them and I tell them my story about like my having the tumor and then having like the left-sided weakness, people come up to me like, man, like like I used to have Bell's palsy, or I still have Bell's palsy. Like I know some of the stuff that you're going through, and Bell's palsy, if you don't know, is like it's just like temporary weakness on one side of your face. Sometimes it happens after a stroke or different things like that, which I thought I had until like I did the testing and found out that I had a brain tumor at the time. So it's like genuinely connecting with people, hearing their stories, and hearing like seeing people where they're like not even tagging me on anymore on Instagram, but they're like, I see them like in their stories wearing Takayos every single day. And it's like that's the type of stuff where it's like, man, like it's bigger than me, and it's just like dope to like create something that adds value to someone's life in a real way. And sometimes, before I go, every time before I do like a live event, I don't necessarily pray for, man, like I want to sell out tonight. Like my prayer is always like, Lord, like I just want to impact the people. Like let's make some genuine connections today. Like let's like really just increase our connections today, and learn more about others, and spread this community.
Yeah, I think this community is going to continue to thrive and grow. Amazing interview here with Javier, who is the owner of Takayo Sunwear. It's not just somewhere anymore, is it? You got all types of stuff now.
Yeah.
That's beautiful, man. And I hope that, you continue to make these amazing glasses. I just can't stop looking at some of the frames here because you don't see frames like this every day. They're thick. Some of them are thick. I like that. And then having the wire on the inside, having it clear, having it visible like that.
Yeah.
I don't have a pair like these at all,
So
I think that's important.
Yeah, and you can see the difference between like this was like my very first iteration, and you see that wire's not in there. This is like typically this is kind of like this is still a step up from like some of the other brands that you may see, like kind of like your Amazon glasses, or like Temu, or your budget glasses, but because you can still see like the quality is pretty thick and the hinges are pretty sturdy, but the quality is not as good as where you see I've taken it. So like once I got these, I was talking to a manufacturer like, how can we get better quality? How can I do, like, because I already knew from like my interactions with other brands, like I was buying sunglasses before I started, I was wearing them before I started making them. So it's like I know that while this is good quality, I want to take it higher. I want to do more. And so like I've gotten it to the point where I may not have the brand recognition of like some of the designer glasses. So like like your Pradas, your Gucci's, your things like that. So I don't necessarily hit the consumer with the same price point, because I don't have that same like cachet or social capital quite yet. But I guarantee you the quality is just like, if you're looking for quality, our quality is the same quality, if not better in some cases. It's just we don't, you just got to take a chance on a smaller brand. So that's why we have a much more reasonable price point.
Yeah, and I think in this sphere of fashion, the sphere of eyewear in 2025, it's good for the small brands. There's a lot of opportunity out there. People are taking the risk now. Like you said, people are stepping outside of their comfort zone. Even the shy and uncomfortable people are now wearing their characters on their clothes instead, since they might not have the ability to express it all the
Right.
time. They're really putting it into their clothes now. I think that's huge, and I think that a brand like this is going to fit in perfectly as we continue to grow down that path. And so, what an amazing time here on the peak. We've traveled all the way to the top of the mountain here with Takayo, and we are ready to jump off, man. Chat is looking into ordering some as well. I will not be buying a designer brand of sunglasses ever. I'm much happier to order from someone just like you.
Oh man, shout out to Origin 24 Houston, man. I appreciate that.
That's all love, man. So it's what it's all about. Amazing time having you here, Javier, talking about the glasses, and we're gonna chop this up and get this in front of some more eyes that couldn't be here live right now. Before we close out,
And then,
go ahead.
I was gonna say, like, I mean, I appreciate the chat. Everybody, like, chiming in, saying that they appreciate the brand, and going to check out. Like, I see someone asking about the just like the social media. We are Takayo Sunwear. It's TOCAYO Sunwear. So it's SUNWEAR. And then the website is takayosunwear.com. Anyone in the chat, if you guys find us on social media, send me a DM. If you send me a DM, and I know that you're genuinely like serious about buying, I'll send you a promo code where you get 50% off. So if you made it this far in the interview, I know that you're a real one, and I want to help you, make that first purchase. So like I said, 50% off, already a reasonably, priced frame. I think that it doesn't get any better than that. So
really
if you genuinely want, if you fuck with my story and you see something on the site that you want, hey, there's 50% off. There you go. That's my gift to you. Thank you for tuning in to just watch this.
It doesn't really get much better than that. I had another question, but Jesus. And so, what is your advice to people younger than you trying to do what you do, people that have these struggles they have to overcome, turning something from nothing? What is the advice that you give?
Honestly, I mean, it's a bit of a cliche, but like, just do it. Like, there's literally nothing stopping you. Like, if you feel like you have the time, a little bit of money to put, towards like your idea, just do it. You know what I mean? There's no embarrassment. Like, like I could, just what I'm trying to say is like, there's no, there's no like consequence to trying something out. You know what I mean? Similar to like what you're doing right now, establishing a platform for yourself. And there, I'm sure you've had hardships in your journey and senses of like doubt or feeling like, man, what am I doing this for? Or feeling like there's not quite a return sometimes. That's part of the creative process. That's part of the hero's journey, So like, if you already go into it with that mindset, like, hey, I know that I want glitz and glamour, or I know I want this goal, or I want to achieve this, but I also understand this is also part of the process. If you already accept, like, hey, there's going to be times where there's going to be rejection. There's going to be times where it doesn't feel good. If you already go into it with that mindset of accepting that, then you already are ahead of the game. Like, just do it, and what you'll see, what you'll learn, what I've learned through just me doing this, because I've only been doing this for, I'm going into my second year, so only one full year of glasses. You see like the platform I'm on now, you see the array of frames that I've been able to put out, the storytelling and the lessons that I've learned. You'll go through that same thing, and what you'll learn is that the true winners are just the ones who are consistent, and not just consistent, but are keen to identifying like the lessons in each in each step of the way of like, okay, this is what went wrong, and not just feeling defeated, but okay, this is what went wrong, but this is how I can pivot from it. This is what I'm gonna do next time,
Yeah.
So like, that's genuinely like what I'm learning, like so that's my advice to everyone. Just push through, believe in yourself more than anyone else. And if you believe in yourself, it's infectious, and other people will start to believe in you as well. And yeah.
That's beautiful. Mother, clip that. So I've been working on this AI program that like can listen to our voice, and then it does stuff on my command.
Oh wow.
I'm hoping that it works. If it does, we'll see clip created here in the chat soon. But I don't know if I turned it on. Anyways,
Yeah.
amazing time, man. Chilling here, and we'll get that clipped up and put out for you so that you can use this content in
For
order
sure.
to further the brand. It's been amazing here talking with you, Javier, about the Takayo Sunwear brand. They've got more than just Sunwear now, so make sure you guys go check them out. And chat is talking about how they may not have the bread today. And so, like he said, guys, make sure you go to the Instagram, follow the Instagram at Takayo Sunwear, and you can send them a DM. That 50% off offer, I'm pretty sure, does not end at midnight. So take
No,
your time and reach out, do your research on the brand, find the glasses that you really like, save up the money, hit my boy up, and it's love,
right, right. And
100%.
and like I said, if you hit me in the DM and you mention the DONFATHER, you mention like this platform, Peak, all that stuff, I'm it's just me, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm an honest guy. I'll shoot you that code. Like it's no pressure, you know what I mean? I appreciate you for even rocking this far, you know what I mean? Like it's no pressure off my back. Like I'll be more than happy to ship you a frame at 50% off, you know, just like just off the love.
Absolutely beautiful. Well, thank you, Javier, for coming through, man. It was a pleasure having you.
Yeah, of
And I'll
course.
tell everybody this at the end. We'll see you again, and we'll tap back in with you maybe year two. I'm gonna have to get a bigger table,
Yeah.
have some more frames. You know what I mean? But I'm excited to see what comes next in the brand, man. It's just, I really just can't. I need to take a picture of these. This is something like you put on your wall and frame up. Just a picture of these frames.
Right. I
It's
appreciate
art,
that.
man. It's beautiful
Thank you.
art, and it's been amazing. So we'll see you next time, and thank you for coming by. Make sure you guys go check out the brand right now. Okay, don't even do anything. Go to Instagram and type in Takayo Somewhere. I'm gonna tell you how to spell it. That's gonna be TOCAYOSUNWEAR. That's Takayo Somewhere. You're here with the creator Javier, and this is the Peak, guys. Thank you.